you need anal lube, what are you gonna do?
I mean, there's always blue boutique or black blue boutique, whatever the fuck it is. There's always
Hollywood?
that.
I don't know.
Just anything that's silicone based and cheap. That's all you need.
Welcome to Evilive, the live media commentary show that answers the question: are Asian flavors good in a sausage roll? Subscribe if you're new to the channel, because today we are reviewing the Great British Baking Show Collection 11, Episode 8, Pâté.
Party week. Fuck. This is a hell of a quarterfinals. At least that's kind of what it seems like. We're gonna call it the quarterfinals. It's basically what it is.
Yeah, I mean this is it. We're sort of in it. There's only a handful of people left. We're like, next time is the semifinals. Next episode.
We got two episodes left.
Woof.
And this one was
surprised me.
That's the thing. Like, it's so rare that everything looks great. At least signature. Like, it always seems like at least one person shits the bed. And I mean, flavor wise, texture, whatever. But everything like sounded great and looked great.
Yeah, which is why I was so surprised about the judges' reactions to them. Like, specifically in the signature, almost everyone had a problem with their pastry.
Except Maddie.
Right. Well, fucking this dude. All right.
Yeah.
Maddie, hats off to you, man. You're a badass. I just got to get that out here. I've always complained this whole show about your face. But you can bake like a bitch, so fucking A, you're awesome.
Well, that's the crazy thing is this is like Paul Hollywood's jerk off food.
Yeah.
And Maddie's like, I'm just going to do a classic. And then it's not classic at all. It's shit that's his own flair, but everything about it was perfection. And Paul doesn't even he hasn't even swallowed all of it before he's just grabbing Maddie's hand and giving him like one of the greatest handshakes of the season. It
was like Paul was thirsty as shit, randy as hell. He just needed to get that handshake out there.
Yeah, that's what
like
it seemed
any port in a storm. Maddie, all right, you're it. Like, I'm getting in. Just fucking relax your muscles and let's go.
Right. Well, it's so funny too, because looking down the list and seeing the plans for everybody else's roles, it's like his is like the most mundane thing. But if you've ever watched, God, what was it? The one with the witch and fucking Voldemort in it. The
Harry
restaurant.
Potter?
No, the one that just came out, the restaurant one where they go to an island and he kills everybody. The chef.
What are you talking about?
It came out
like
a
reality show?
No, it's a movie. It's got Anna Taylor-Joy in it. The dude that played Voldemort, bunch of other people, and it's like this fancy. It's this fancy dinner that at the end everybody kills themselves type of thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah. It's like the menu. That's it.
The menu. There we go. The menu.
That was good.
That is what that reminded me of. The very end of that, where she's like, "I'm still fucking hungry. I want a cheeseburger. Nothing pretentious, just a fucking cheeseburger." That's what Maddie did. An unpretentious sausage roll, and fucking Paul was living for it.
It was a long way to get there, but that's a great fucking reference.
Yeah.
That film, I did not expect anything out of, and I was thoroughly enjoyed by it.
Dude, I was almost one of those assholes that applauded afterwards.
It was great. it was
so
great.
good.
And that burger? Fuck me. I would love to eat that burger.
When I see clips of that movie and see that shit's like, especially when it starts running down her face, it's like, I want that fucking burger.
Dude, a good burger, there's nothing better than a good burger. My wife makes a great fucking cheeseburger. Oh, so good. Sausage rolls. So Maddie was the only one that really nailed it, both interior meat and exterior. Everyone else tried to do a version, and for the most part, everyone's interior was great. It was the exterior that sort of let them down a little bit, except for Dan.
Dude, Dan's were great, but
I want to eat what Dan made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Badly.
Like anything dim sum, fuck yeah, I don't give a shit. Wrap it up in a fucking biscuit, like a roll, like the out of the can biscuit, and cook it. I'm gonna fucking eat it and think it's the greatest thing ever. So the fact that they're like, this just doesn't go together very well. It's like, you guys are fucking stupid.
He's like, doesn't anything go good in fucking pastry? And they're just like, it's not a sausage roll. It's like, all right, simmer down, dude.
Yeah, it's like, oh, because he put prawn in there with the fucking pork. Fuck you. It's like, it works for the Asians. Why can't it work for you?
It was so funny when Prue, she's like, it certainly tastes Chinese.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. I get like it has Asian flavors, maybe is what you intended to mean, but it certainly tastes Chinese. All right, cannibal.
Like, you know what? That's how I took it, is that she has lived that kind of lifestyle and she's had a Chinese before.
She's like, I only eat the most extreme foods, and I've had Chinese, and let me tell you, this is it spot on. Yeah, weird choice of words by Prue. I still love her to death, though. I don't care.
Yeah.
I was shocked by Paul's reaction. He like hated it.
Yeah. Again, this was like his jerk off food, and he's just like, why didn't you just rape my mother in the ass and then spit in my face afterwards? That would be less egregious than this.
And pretty good fantasy.
Yeah. An awful lot of talk about Paul having sex this episode.
Wow, there's a lot. I mean, it's a sausage roll fucking premise, and so that you knew it was going to come. Good. There was a lot of fucking, more than any other. I feel like this season was more innuendo filled than any other season.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I'd have to go back through to watch all of them again, which I inevitably will, because that's what happens. But yeah, I feel like this one's definitely been really adult.
I love this season has like made me fall back in love with no, fuck me, I gotta look up the guy name. Noel, yeah. I felt like when he was with the fucking, this is gonna sound shitty, the albino dude Matt.
Yeah,
his shit wasn't landing. He wasn't on his game. There was some, I don't know what it was. He just wasn't there. I feel like he has come back in this episode, and I am here for it. I love every little innuendo joke he's throwing out there, and I love his co-host throwing it in there with him and just mixing it up. She's
great. I'm just waiting to see the episode where she fucks Maddie, because it seems like
happening.
It's gonna happen.
It's probably going to be off camera, but it's fucking happening. Maddie is not going to know what hit him. He's not going to know where all the fucking shit hit like sprayed all over his face. But it's 100% happening.
Yeah.
Maddie is going to get fucked.
Oh yeah, he is.
It's a constant fucking thing. She just comes up to him and she's just throwing shit. Oh no, the party's in my bed. And he's just like, girls talk this way too. He's just always stunned. It's just so crazy. Yeah, the party's in her bed. So Shannon mentioned it.
Good. That was just the best part. Was just the smile. I'm like, I don't know how to respond to this.
Yeah. We're an Easter colored tent. I don't. Am I supposed to react? How do I act in this role here? Oh, it's so good. I love it so much. I like to imagine that her sexual innuendos to Maddie is what propels him to greatness.
You know, I think you're onto something. I know when the idea of potential sex is on the table, dude, I am going to pursue greatness just to attain it.
Dude, I will do some filthy things just for the suggestion that there's going to be fooling around later on.
Yeah.
Filthy things. Earlier today,
do go on
the ways. Maybe not on camera. I thought this signature was so much fun because it was something like, oh, they're going to nail it. Oh, that looks delicious. That looks amazing.
Every single one of them just sounded like, yeah, I need that in my face right now.
Tasha's, you give me apples and pork, I'm there. You throw in cranberries? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to taste that desperately bad. And then when Paul was just like, this is amazing, but you're goddamn bake. Oh, it just goes to show, like, it doesn't matter how good you are. You have to, like, nail 100% every time, or else you can just slip right out the fucking gate. Turkey and cranberry with Josh. I mean, Josh is just sort of that tour de force type of person that I still don't know how to feel about him.
I agree because he's not middle of the ground anymore. No. He's absolutely not. Like, he's gotten Star Baker before, and he's always excelling, but he's so, I guess, like, held back, subdued, whatever. Like, you barely know he's there until his dish comes up, and then you're just like, this kid is amazing.
Yeah. There's a moment where Alison was like, I love how all of your bakes honor your nan, your grandma. And I think that is the personification of him as an individual. Everything he's doing is a sort of an ode to those who came before him that he has taken inspiration from. And that is in the way I'm seeing it, it's an admirable position to be in. It's not groundbreaking. It's not going to make you a famous chef, but it is endearing.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to ask yourself, is this show about making classics well, or is it about pushing boundaries on classics? And that's where I think we find a really wonderful mix of different people who, like Saku in past episodes, where she tried to push the boundary, and arguably Dan is continually trying to push the boundaries of classics. It's just not in ways that are resonating with the hosts.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because he even mentions that he's like, I always shoot for the moon. Sometimes it works, sometimes I fail, but somehow I'm still here.
Yeah. I feel like this is the first episode where I saw the cracks in Dan. Before, it was this plaster of that serial killer vibe where you can't break it. He is always, just persistent. He's sort of that shape that's always coming after you. This is where he's like, I got to knock down Josh. He's the man.
Yeah. I'm
here for it. I want to see him fight. And you don't know. The thing is under pressure, we like to think that everyone rises to the occasion and they can actually step up and be better. That's not the case.
No.
Most people buckle under pressure. It takes a very special type of a person that can handle pressure and know how to deal with it, that can then rise above and beyond the pressure. That's the exception. I'm not sure Dan can do that. And this episode made me think he can't.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't think he's going to win.
No. Yeah.
But I think he's going to be in the finals. I'm saying it right now. It's going to be the three boys.
Oh, really?
Tasha's
going next.
Think so. Dude, she should have gone home this week.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
I was very surprised when she didn't go home. And then it was like, oh, well, of course she's not going to go home because she, took first in technical. But
okay, let's talk about that technical then.
Technical, that was some shit, man. God damn.
That was some shit.
Dude, fucking Dan. Oh my God. As soon as he pulled out those
he was doing.
Pieces, I'm like, oh, you did it wrong and you don't know. That was so butt puckering.
Yeah.
I mean, Christy, she fucked up and she's like, I have to make another one. And killed it.
At least she knew. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dan's like, guess it's going to be a small one.
That shit was I loved Paul's reference to it too. He's like, oh, the kids are going to get this. They're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
That is definitely the worst thing that could have been said about that cake.
Best, you dick. Can we just talk about the nightmare of Maddie's face on that fucking caterpillar? That was the scariest goddamn caterpillar I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Eyebrows, teeth. It was
fucking just eyes like this. It's like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be for a kid's birthday party?
It was a nightmare. It was like you would find that at a Halloween party. It was so scary. Oh my gosh. My wife and I both were freaking out.
It definitely looked like it was the cousin of Tasha's. Definitely.
It was Noel's backwater Jason Voorhees cousin.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I love the constant reference to Tasha's, because I don't remember. I watched it a second time just now. Did she intend it to look like Noel?
Yeah.
I don't remember her saying that.
Yeah, she was joking about it while she was making it, and he's talking about her. He's talking to her about it, and then she just makes the sideburns and then goes from there. So yeah, she was intentionally making it look like Noel.
I want to hang out with him so bad.
Yeah.
Just so bad.
Definitely.
Hey, I don't even like tea. Give me a cup of tea with him. I'll take it. You give me a couple of beers with him, I'll be happy. You give me a fucking night on the town, it's on. We will go crazy.
Him and Prue, that's a fucking party.
Oh, man. It'd just be so great. And I love the reference later on when they're sort of talking about the judging and his face being the reason why she did so well.
Yeah.
At this thing, I came into British Baking Show on the original hosts. And I thought no one could do it better than them. I loved those two women.
Yeah, they were
I thought
amazing.
they did such a brilliant job. And that's what made me fall in love with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Noel sort of brought me into, like, I had to get over the hump of who he was and his humor. And I've grown to desperately love him. In a it's a very entertaining way. He's a very funny individual. He's great off the cuff, and he's sort of no holds barred. I bet he gets even filthier than he's allowed to be on this channel, which is
absolutely.
what I love about sort of comedians, sort of not having that barrier of this is okay to say and this isn't okay to say.
Yeah, man. It's like I remember the first time I heard Robin Williams say "fuck," it blew my mind.
Man,
dude,
talk about it.
Yeah.
First of all, a comedian that is just like above and beyond.
Oh, absolutely.
He's amazing. He's got a travesty of the way he went out. Fucking, and that's sort of the statement about our sort of. I don't want to go into the whole fucking medical culture and drugs and shit like that, but sad day that motherfucker ended up dying because he wasn't even human. He was like the best of what humanity could be. It's like he's the sort of Beethoven of comedy. Like that's the level of his shit. Every generation or so, you get these sort of types of people that go above and beyond, and they're just like a tour de force of just whatever that industry is. That's what Robin Williams was for comedy.
Absolutely.
I mean, just goddamn amazing. All right, what are we talking about? We're talking about baking.
Yes.
Chocolate caterpillars is what we're fucking talking about. These were the worst. I don't even know why this is a thing. I thought these were so stupid as a baking option. It seems so juvenile and ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
faces.
I can understand why they would have chose it because, yes, this is a very simple cake, but it's also a very complex cake because it's a
Swiss roll.
It's a Swiss roll, and history has shown us time and time again, under pressure in that tent with that heat, you're going to not make a good Swiss roll.
Yeah. And they were suffering.
Yeah, so add to that the fact that it's a specifically shaped Swiss roll, and also you're having to do multicolored meringue.
Right.
And so it's like you're doing two different meringues. You're doing the Italian for the Swiss for the inside, and then a traditional meringue for the outside, like the crunchy bits. It's a complex fucking bake, especially when natural heat is not on your side.
Yeah. I found myself asking the question, how many legs does a fucking caterpillar have? Because there were so many options that they presented. I really had no idea. When we looked it up, it was only 6. I was just like,
really?
That's it? Like centipedes, millipedes, they're not caterpillars. I feel like caterpillars have more than 6. Maybe Siri's fucked up. I'm not content with 6. I don't know how many legs a fucking caterpillar has. Maybe someone out there can let us know. I'm curious. But none of it looked right. Like when it did every single the sort of rib that was left in the Swiss roll, I felt like that was too many, and then you saw too few. But they all generally tasted okay.
All right. So here's the answer. I am absolutely searching it. So they have 6 legs, but they have things that look like legs called pro legs.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
I'm fucking looking that up as well. A proleg is a small fleshy stub structure found on the ventral surface of the abdomen of most larval forms of insects of the order of that one. Though they can also be found on other larval insects such as sawflies and a few other types of insects.
I call that my penis.
Yes, I was just going to say that sounds like my penis. But I only have one of those.
Yeah. I've got some skin tags that are pretty impressive. Rival my penis in size, but
yeah.
That just speaks more to my failing as a man than anything else. Let's talk about the Anything But Beige buffet.
Dude.
This is a party episode. I have not felt party at all. And after having watched it, I still don't feel party.
So I get the technical, because it's a children's party. Like that's a traditional cake for a children's birthday party. I think it's a cultural thing, because they're all talking about sausage rolls being like, that's the thing for parties. And it's like, if I was there, I'd be like, cool, who brought the Bahama Mamas? But anything but beige buffet, like that's a thing. Like that's a weird thing to exist. I guess it does.
I love the humor that never landed with Alison trying to do the fucking conga line, and she just kept trying.
Yeah, no, she was not good. She was like, "This is gonna fucking happen. You fuckers are gonna laugh."
That fucking sign language guy just got roped into it.
Oh,
he was almost apologizing. He's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. She grabbed me. What do you want? Like, I had to fucking do it.
The great thing is that split second of the look on his face of I swear they left that in so you understood that it was not planned.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't get that half a second of him being like this, it would have been like, oh, they're on it together. He is doing his job. He is just a fly on the wall there to interpret for one person. That was fucking hilarious.
So funny, that guy. That's another guy I wouldn't mind having like a drink with. Just like, all right, tell me what the fuck your experience is, because it looked like you were tortured every day.
Right.
Like constantly. Because like you have nothing to do with anything. You're just interpreting the bad news from the judges. So you're just telling bad shit, either about the person that you're communicating to or about other people to communicate to her. But in either case, it's always bad. It's so rarely good. Mm-hmm. Like you're just a negative message boy. Like that's horrible.
Yeah.
But congratulations, you got the gig. All right.
Fuck yeah.
Stop wearing shorts, dude, because you don't look good in shorts. That guy is just like, he's like a normal dude, which is a problem. Because a normal man, you don't ever want to see in shorts.
Yeah, you never want to see, well, especially a normal man on TV. It's just not exciting.
No. There's like a certain type of person that can pull off shorts. I'm not one of them, and he's not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it. It's a nightmare. It's just like, what are you doing? Really? You're not that guy. Just stop trying to be that guy. You can't do it. I've tried it. It doesn't work. All right. Anyway, so Marvelous Sweet Factory Buffet from Christie didn't land. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember the details about any of these. I watched it yesterday. I didn't get to it today to rewatch, and nothing except for Dan's is sticking out in my head.
So yeah, it's Christie's that I don't really remember. Like the real kicker was Maddie's. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie. I went to 2 different places today to try to find fucking donuts just because of that, the showstopper. Like that one, even though Paul was like, "You fucked this donut up." Looking at that, my mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. Like that was the most perfect looking donut ever. It had the perfect dome, the perfect color. The glaze was on point. The fucking icing was just gorgeous. It's like that is the episode of The Simpsons where Homer sells his soul for a donut. That's the donut I would sell my soul for.
God damn.
Like it is beautiful, and it's fucked me up all day because of that. Dan's was great. Like that was hilarious. I mean, it was a real bummer that those the dinosaur footprints were dry, and it looked like they were dry as fuck. The second Paul cut into it, it's like, oh god, there's like this much filling and then this much dough.
Yeah,
and
the
it just
pastry to filling ratio will kill you.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing. Like so I was thinking about that, and there are certain aspects where sometimes the pastry can be better than the pie itself. Mm. Like for me, if I'm making myself a pumpkin pie because I'm a fat kid and I make myself treats sometimes, I will do it different if I know it's going to be specifically me doing it. Because I think, like, I mean, obviously the filling's amazing.
Yeah.
But a good, proper, homemade, properly done crust can stand up by itself. So I'll do it a little bit on the thicker side. I'll bake it extra just that way that the crust is just proper, and then bake the pie as a whole. Mm-hmm. So it's like I can understand sometimes thicker crust working, but yeah, everybody that had like the really thick shit this time did work.
All right, so it is the season. So I want to talk about pumpkin pie really quick because I too make the pumpkin pie. I love the pumpkin pie where you can pick the slice up free form in your hand and it is full, rigid, just solid. and you have that lip of the crust to put your fingers on to balance against your thumb that balances the bottom of it, and it just holds its shape. That is a pumpkin goddamn pie. So I don't mind a little thick crust, because sometimes for me, I like a crust balance to the cream of the sort of filling. That's just how I roll. I'm a fan of the crust when it does really come down to the makeup and the bake itself, because clearly he did not take into account the thickness of his crust versus the filling and the time that it would take to cook that filling and the crust. I think he was style over substance, and it bit his ass. But his eggs,
those eggs look fucking amazing. And that's what Prue was gushing over, was his eggs. And I fucking wanted one, man.
Hell yeah.
And like texturally, like, it's so insane because it looked so much like an actual egg, like a soft boiled egg, to where, and that custard in there, just, God, it looked fucking great. Yeah, it was, I wanted one so bad.
So good. It looks so good. And then, of course, we get Josh. This motherfucker got the goddamn shirt on and everything. He's got to go Christmas with everything.
Dude,
I loved it.
That looked like he was like, shit, I don't want to do this. I'm going to hit the bake store real quick, and brought it home. Like, it was perfection.
It looks so good.
And like the fucking snowman macarons, like, those were like, those looked like they were made in a fucking factory. They were perfect. Yeah. Like, each one was exceptionally identical. Just like, I'm surprised he didn't get Star Baker. I mean, I'm not surprised, because again, with the signature,
it was between him and Maddie, but
if he had done better on the signature, he would have been Star Baker just for the showstopper alone. Like, that was beautiful.
He did great. I'm just growing to really appreciate him. He's not pretentious. He's not trying to showboat. He's just trying to bake. He's just trying to do his best. And I really respect that. I imagine a world where he is just like alone, sorrowful, lost in tears most of the time. And so his only hope is bake. And so this show is like everything to his life. And I really like that version of my mythology of him. Because if he's like a happy, successful human, I have to question what I'm doing with my life. And I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just think of him as a loser in real life. He's just exceptional at baking. I want to eat his bakes like 100%. I want to hang out with him. I want him to make me a fucking meal. I mean, if it turns to love, okay. I've never done it before, but I'll give it a go.
Lover.
Yeah. He seems
definitely cuddles. Definitely.
Oh, he's 100%. And you know his cuddles have like tension. Like it feels good. Yeah. No, Maddie's was okay. I thought the sports thing was a little juvenile.
Well, the thing is, it is his MO. Like, it definitely goes with 100%. His other shit. So it's like, I mean, a showstopper is essentially a bigger version of a signature. Yeah. So it's like, that's his signature. He's obsessed with sports, and it worked, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly did as far as tasting goes, because he fucking won the lucky bastard. I never saw it coming. I thought he was going to be one of the ones that was ejected from this competition, and now I'm starting to question,
dude, that's the thing.
Is it between him and Josh? Could Maddie actually fucking make this motherfucker?
I'm going to call it right now. It's either him or Josh.
Wow.
But it's going to be him, Josh, and Dan in the finals.
Dan, after this episode.
Dude, Tasha should have gone home, man.
Wow.
The only reason she didn't go home was because the technical. She fucking aced it.
I feel like Paul has a hard-on for Tasha, and he's not going to get rid of her.
Probably.
I think he wants to fuck her. I know how shitty that sounds, but that's how my mind works. The way he talks about her bakes, I think he's hitting on her.
Well, okay. To be fair, the thing is, he is, first and foremost, a bread maker.
Yeah. And her piggies?
Those were fucking beautiful.
Amazing.
Like, I saw those, and those were perfection. The shape, the crust, the shine, the look, like, you knew what they were immediately.
Yeah.
And even Prue was gushing over them. I mean, not anything else. Like, everything else kind of fell flat, especially like the choux pastry. Because, oh God, that was, I can't even imagine eating that. That looked like eating, if you took a piece of paper and wrapped it around some glue and then bit into it, that's what that looked like to me. But those
like the
pig
minty
buns?
Elmers from elementary school, or
No, I'd say more like I'd say more like the school gel. So it's got that little bit of thinness to it, but rubbery as opposed
glue
to
connoisseurs.
Yeah, we were glue connoisseurs. Well, I mean, fuck, I grew up punk rocker. That's how I did my hair, man. So I know glue. Which little tip, kids, don't use expired wood glue to spike your hair. You will have to shave your head.
Oh my god!
Just so you know.
The more you know.
Exactly.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, hers was pretty disappointing, but I did love those buns. Like those pigs were fucking fantastic.
Those buns were dope. I do feel like she's been given the benefit of the doubt more than anyone else. Just because Paul does have an affinity for her bakes. Mm-hmm. And again, it's earned. She is doing a good job.
Yeah, no,
so I'm
she's
not
solid,
saying she hasn't earned it, but I do feel like Paul is sort of leaning toward her a little bit more for whatever nefarious reasons that I'm manufacturing.
Here's the thing, Adam. She's 27. She's not legal. Like she's a child. Yeah. She's not even a teenager. Yeah. She's almost in her 30s.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
All I'm saying is whenever someone bends down and you can see down their shirt, I'm paying attention. So I don't judge.
Yep.
I'm fucked up is what I'm saying. Yeah, I thought she would have gone this episode. Now that she's not gone this episode, I mean, there's only Star Bakers in that. Everyone in this episode had Star Baker already. Mm-hmm. So for only Star Bakers to be left, I'm not sure that's happened in the last 2 seasons. I think there have been people who have skated by that haven't done Star Baker before. So this is going to be a very interesting semi and finale because these are people who clearly know how to bake, who know how to please the judges, and are trying to not just please them, but sort of impress them. And what's better, like as far as like a baker, for you, in your opinion, if you were the judge, would you feel better about someone who just nails the contest, like whatever the bake is, or do you feel like you would give a little bit of courtesy to someone who tries to go above and beyond and try something different?
So the above and beyond, of course, would take it as long as it was successful. If it stays within the parameters, but just barely crosses the line, like obviously that should be rewarded. But I mean, there's also something to say, like, I mean, with this, the fucking Maddie sausage rolls, standard as fuck and simple as fuck, but every single aspect of it was pure perfection. So it's like, that's a hard one. Like, I want to say,
looks so good though.
Yeah, man.
All of them.
Honestly, all of them, especially Tasha's, like with the apricot and the fucking apples. Like, God, that just sounded so good.
Yeah. I really wanted to try Dan's. I'm a big egg roll fan.
Yeah.
And his felt like a thick egg roll.
Yeah, which I'm all for.
Yeah, I'm here for
Definitely. It. Yeah, that shit looked fucking great.
Like Chinese food makers. I'm pulling a Prue here. Chinese food makers use pastry, not just that thin fucking thing you're using, whatever you're using for egg rolls. I want some thick ass pastry because that looked dope as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that was a meal.
Looks so.
Whereas in traditionally egg roll would be like an appetizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, a good egg roll, it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than any side or main dish you get if it's a good one. It's
so definitely.
Good. Oh man. All right. So ultimately, Christy was the one that was called out. She just didn't bring it this episode. She knew it. Everyone knew it. It was really between her and Tasha. And I saw her as the one going home. It was sad for me because I was always kind of pulling for her, mainly because I want to see her naked. But that's not a thing in this show. So what are you going to do?
Collection 12.
Let's start an OnlyFans. Come on, Christy. Maddie, I was stunned. I thought it was Josh.
Same.
I thought Maddie was close, but I really thought it was Josh. And when Maddie got it, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah,
and fucking hats off to him.
That's the thing. Like I thought it was gonna be Josh just because the showstopper, and then of course once Maddie got it, it's like, well, obviously he got it because he did so well. Like even though he fucked up the donut, he completely nailed the sausage roll.
Yeah. He did so good in everything that Yeah.
It was
all
deserved.
of my complaints have to be like thrown out because they're all superficial. He's clearly here for a reason. And I loved his preface of this episode. It was, I have imposter syndrome. I live that every day, so I definitely feel I'm feeling you, Holmes.
That is my existence.
So I get it. And at the end, he was just like, maybe I do deserve to be here. And like, fucking A, yeah, you do.
Yeah, like, that's fucking end of The Breakfast Club, just fist in the air. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, you deserve to be here.
Yeah, it's funny. Did you have a favorite bake of this episode?
Whew. God, I mean, it's like the sausage rolls. Maddie's just that was the most appetizing one, with that little piece of sage on top and the thick ass fully laminated crust like that. That was it was like a model. Or again, like with Josh, like I loved his showstopper. Yeah. Just those snowman macaroons were fucking beautiful.
A macaroon is hard to get right.
I've never been able to do them. And
he's done fucking love baking. Snowmen.
Yeah.
Like multiple circles.
Yeah. And it's even like
fuck yeah.
They're identical.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other level of
it's decorated too. Like fuck.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah, I think those were probably my favorites.
He's got to win. Josh has to win.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that takes the most care with every single time. He's not worried about it. He's like, I know how to bake this. I'm going to bake it.
You know what it is, man? Fucking his gran is Obi-Wan for him.
Oh, shit.
She's in the background like,
oh,
use the Force, Josh.
Yep.
Don't measure. So of course he's going to win.
He like puts his measuring fucking weight away. He's like, all right, I'm going to use the Force Gran. Mm-hmm. That makes me like him more, actually. Yeah, the thing is, he's not even really a human. He's just like a vanilla, like, this is what a human looks like guy. You know? Like, there's nothing about him that makes me go like, I would notice you in a crowd. Mm-hmm. He would definitely blend in with every crowd.
Absolutely. He is the most unassuming individual.
Just vanilla. But you know what? Vanilla's delicious. So
it is. It is a very complex
what are you gonna do?
And deeply layered flavor.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, my favorite. I want to try that egg. It looked amazing.
Yeah,
like gross and loogie-ish, but amazing. Like I want to try it.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't taste like cum. I mean, I imagine. I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right. I hope it tastes delicious.
I bet it tastes delicious, Adam.
All right. Anything else with this?
No.
Let's end it on cum.
Got it, man. I am dying for these last two episodes. This is fucking killing me.
It is going to be interesting because one fuck up and someone that should be in the finale is going home.
Yeah, and that is really what it is. It's going to be who chokes first. That's who's going home because they're all competent bakers, and it's going to be a hell of a showdown.
It's going to be the one that tastes the cum-covered egg. They're going to choke.
Yeah, it's gonna morph into an episode of Fear Factory or Fear Factor. Like Joe Rogan's gonna show up as a judge,
but he's gonna be modern, like bald Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So he's gonna be like, "You guys are gonna smoke DMT and then eat a horse stick raw.
Eat this shit."
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. As always, like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live and cum is gross. So keep being evil.
Don't listen to him, Jana. It's good for you.
It's protein. Is it? I don't even know.
Probably.
That's good enough.
That's science enough.
Science.
No one told me it is.